Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Guye and you are watching Guye B TV. So today we are going to talk about Christianity, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of my Christianity journey, the pros and cons and all that. I guess we'll start by saying that my experience is my experience. I am not condemning anyone. I am not judging anyone. I am not leading anyone towards anything. Like, this is just completely like my reason why I kind of started keeping my relationship with God to myself and more private than I used to when I was younger, and it used to be public and it was like everything. So where do we start? Just like everybody else, well, before you guys get into this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a heart emoji because I love hearts, or just leave a comment, whatever you feel like, you know. And yeah, join the family. So I grew up, because it sounds like every other story, I grew up in a Christian home. We went to church, all that jazz. And as a kid, I was just kind of like I was a kid who like suppressed my feelings a lot, because I grew up in the US, but I'm Sudanese. So I grew up in like an American culture, yet having Sudanese values in the house. So it was like those two cultures clashed a lot. And so it was a lot. So I went to church with my parents for as long as I can remember, till about like end of middle school. Then I started going to this youth group, and it was at the Center of Life Church. And we were like, what, 13, 14 years old. There was 4 of us, me and 3 other girls that went. And that church really just kind of helped us grow. Like, we grew being at that church. And in the years that I was there, because I went to that church from like middle school all the way through graduating high school. And we had youth group on Wednesdays and then church on Sundays. And me and the other 3 girls made sure we went basically whenever we could. Like, church was amazing. We learned like biblical lessons in such a different and like pure way, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like they taught it to us in a way where we could understand it using real world examples, and not like make us afraid of the Bible, or being able to just be honest and grow from our mistakes. So that church was like amazing. I loved it so much. I still have yet to find a church that like reminds me of that. That's like one of the cons of not living at home, because that was just an amazing church. But yeah, so I went to church there, and you know, the church thing that everyone does. But one thing that was different, like I said, that church like really helped us learn what it was to have a relationship with God and not religion. Religion was a part of it also, but like I feel like religion is so different than having a relationship with Christ. So we learned how to, you know, just be loved by someone who has such a big purpose for us, and who loves us and wants us to succeed, and wants us to forgive and heal and uplift each other and just grow. So that church, I really learned to have a really close relationship with God. And it was like after high school, I went to college for a semester, and I dropped out because it wasn't the school of my dreams. I was not ready for college. I didn't want to go. But just like everyone else, you know, you have parents who want to see you succeed and want you to grow. And my dad was like, you're going to college. I wanted to do the whole, you know, South Dakota State University. My dad's like, nah. So I ended up going to a private Christian college, and absolutely hated it. Like, every minute of it. So I dropped out. And I really wasn't too strong on my faith, because I was just so caught up in like the community I was in. I'm Sudanese, so there's a whole Sudanese community, and it's so many different people from all over the US and so many other countries, but like specifically we have like a Midwest Sudanese community. And I was just caught up in like partying and going out of town and just like all this nonsense that like could have saved me so much time. And I was really not like focused on my relationship with Christ. Like I knew I loved God and God loved me, but like I was always afraid to share that with the Sudanese community, just because like the church I went to was predominantly African American, white, everything but Sudanese besides me. I was like the only Sudanese girl. The other two were from Uganda, and then we had like a Hispanic friend. So it was all multi whatever, and there were different Africans there as well, but like they weren't many Sudanese. So I kind of kept like my Christian life with like my friends who weren't Sudanese, you know, like we talk about God and like the Lord and worship music, like something that I felt like was kind of difficult to share with my Sudanese friends. So I didn't really share it, but like I still had it, you know when you're like going on a road trip, you like praying like, Lord, just cover us and just bring us back home safely, stuff like that. And I was just kind of nervous to like pray out loud or whatever. But that's the case. So I moved to Omaha, and I guess a part of this story is just being transparent. I was just being a rebel, and I was trying to run away from my parents because I felt like I had just so many rules and I didn't like it. So I told my parents I was moving out. I told my mom I'm moving out. I gave her a date and everything. My mom just laughed. Like, she's like, yeah, right, you're moving out. Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm moving to Nebraska. And she's just like, okay, Guye. Until the day I packed my bags and I was ready to leave, and she couldn't believe it. She like called my aunt over. They both came and talked to me, and they thought like I had a boyfriend, or like, I know they're assuming like maybe I was pregnant and just like was trying to get away from everything, but like none of those things were the case. I just felt like I wanted to get away, just be on my own and just be Guye and breathe. And I just turned 18. You know that 18-year-old bug in your head? Like, that's the thing in America. In Africa, whether you're 18, 25, 35, 40, you'll still listen to your parents, right? In America, they give us this option of, oh, when I turn 18, I'm a legal adult. I can do what I want. I can leave. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to live here. Oh, Jesus. This 18 thing will get you so screwed up. So I moved to Nebraska with my aunt, and I didn't really know her very well, but my mom's like, okay, I don't like you moving, but if you're gonna move, like move with your family or whatever, do that. So I moved with my aunt and stayed with her for a while, and things just weren't working out because once again I was still doing the same stuff, like going out and just like doing nonsense. Like, I wasn't doing anything illegal, y'all, but just like stupid stuff that you shouldn't do, but you're just experiencing its life, whatever. And I just really wasn't being productive. Like, I tried to apply to school, and I don't know what it was that was stopping me from getting into school, but just things were just not working out. And then I was working at a casino, and I was front desk there. It was a casino / hotel, and I worked, still wasn't really being productive in my life. I wasn't going to church, anything. And even like my church youth leaders would call me and like pray with me and just check on me or whatever. And I was just kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I told this story before, so I'm going to make it short as possible so they don't like demonetize my video. I went out with some friends. Something really bad happened to me, and I didn't end up reporting it because of so many reasons, like embarrassment, guilt, all these things that I'm not going to talk about. If you guys want to see that video, go look way back in my YouTube channel, and that video will explain to you what happened. So after that situation happened, I was living with I was living with my aunt for a little bit. Then she and I weren't getting along too well, so I ended up moving in with my then friend. I had a friend then there, and I stayed with her mom and her family, whatever. And they were pretty nice, like super, super nice family, very kind-hearted and whatnot. And I stayed with them for a little bit, and I just didn't feel like this was my life. Like, going to school, going to work, I didn't have a car. I'm like, this is not the Guye that I saw for myself. This is not the Guye that like people prayed over and like prophesized over. Like, I knew I was just meant to do so much more. I knew I was meant to be so much more. I knew I was meant to impact so much more, And so one day I was just fed up, and I called my brother. I'm like, I'm ready to come home. So my brother picked me up, came home, and after that I just kind of wanted a fresh start. Like, I didn't want anything to do with old friends or anything. I literally cut off every single person I could think of. Besides my then best friend, I had one, and then I had a boyfriend back then too. Him, and then just a couple of other friends that like weren't really in the community. So I blocked everybody and really focused on my relationship with Christ. And the moment I did that, like all hell broke loose. I was just still trying to like comprehend everything that had happened, that bad situation. Plus like, okay, I'm back home now. Who am I? Like, Guye, who are you? What do you want to do with your life? Like, what do you see you doing, you know? And I came home. I started going back to church. I got into school, which was something that I wanted to do. And that was it. Like, I was just going to school and church and seeing my friends here and there. But like, I was really closed off because the situation I went through was so hard to like comprehend and like find myself again and find peace. And like going to church really helped because it took years to just, you know, process and get through that and be healed and like away from that situation. So I started being very vocal about my Christianity walk, you know, like Bible verses, church, how I dressed, whatever, modesty, you know, and you're a first baby Christian and you're just like shouting to the rooftop how great God is, which he is. Like, one thing that no one can ever take away from me is my relationship with Christ. And I will say that because even until now, some people always wonder, like, how is this girl still smiling? Like, how is she still just getting through life? Because a lot of people expect me to fail. A lot of people expect me to like ruin myself. A lot of people don't have much faith in me in general. And the one thing that keeps me going is God. Like, God intervenes so much. And no one can take that away from me. That's why I'm still smiling. That's why I'm always happy. Like, God always comes through. But we'll come back to that. So I just, like I said, started being vocal, and everyone just came at my life and just calling me out of my name, saying this and that, rumors, drama, lies. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, all I'm trying to do is just, you know, be one with God, and I want to heal, because that year, I think it was like 2013, was a mess. Like, the good things that I had for me was my relationship with my parents. I was building that up. Having my relationship with Christ and being back in school, and just also being in a surrounding where I was safe, which was home. You know, I didn't really go anywhere for that. For those 2 years, I think 2013, 14, 15. But yeah, and so when I became really vocal about my relationship with Christ, people started calling me a hypocrite. Like, oh, so you think you're better than us? Weren't you just doing this a few weeks ago? Aren't you this? Aren't you that? People who know me could imagine like exactly what was being said, but like, it just really hurt. And I'm just like, dang, like at a place when I'm trying to heal myself, and I was so broken, and I'm trying to figure myself out again. I'm trying to become whole again. I'm trying to forgive. I'm trying to just let go of a lot of baggage. So many I'm gonna just say so many stones were being thrown at me. Like, I just felt like, dang, I really didn't have anybody. And that moment in my life kind of really showed me who my real friends were, and how much less time I needed to be spending with everybody else. So so then, like, it just kind of confirmed me cutting a lot of people off, and why it was necessary. So those few years, you know, I was doing well. I was minding my own business. I was also celibate, and I was celibate for like 2 years, almost 2 years. It was like a year and a half, and I was just doing my thing. Like, I was very happy. It was very healthy. I did go through like a summer where I was just really, I don't know what to call it, depressed or just sad. I don't know what, but it was just not a good period in my life. And it just felt like I just continued making enemies, which is crazy, because like 90% of the people who like talked bad about me and said stuff about me, I had never done anything to them personally. Like I said, 90%. So to me it was just crazy, because I'm just like, what did I do, you know? And I was being called a hypocrite, and to be honest, it was hard, you know, like being a Christian and having your journey is so personal. like, you're gonna make mistakes, you know. You're not just gonna be like, you're not just gonna be one and done and be like, you know what, I'm gonna decide I'm not gonna sin anymore and it's just gonna work. No, like, you're gonna go through stuff, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fall again, you're gonna pick yourself up again, you're gonna fall again, and you're gonna pick yourself up again. Like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's just so, it's so interesting, like, how your walk with Christ and the fact that people know publicly that you are a Christian or you're a good girl. Back then, they judged you for literally everything you did. If they saw you at the club, it was like, oh my God, I thought this girl was a Christian. Why is she drinking? Why is she at the bar? Why does she have a boyfriend? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Like, it just felt like I was put in this box because I put this label on me, like Christian, church girl. And because I had those labels, I was supposed to live up to those standards. But like, I'm learning, I'm young, I'm the first girl in my family. I really am very private. I don't really like to talk about like dating and stuff with my family. I don't know, that's just like me. I feel like that stuff is just so personal, you know. And I'm just really awkward, honestly, just super awkward. So it's just really hard for me. And so I was just being judged, and I felt like back then, like, we were kind of peer pressure to live a Christian life for people in society, not necessarily your own relationship with Christ, you know. And so after like a while, I was just fed up. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna let people just scrutinize me because I said I'm a Christian or I'm a church girl. I never said I was a good girl, and I don't believe in this good girl, bad girl myth. Like, I don't think there's such thing as like a wifey type or whatever, because I've seen a whole lot of different kinds of women getting wifed up. So no one can tell me like, if you're good and you're pure, you don't do this, then you're wifey. But if you're someone who's done all this stuff, then you're not wifey. But we'll save that for a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video. But that, being judged like that, just kind of made me shut off. Like, I was just closed off. I really didn't want to talk about Christianity to anyone. I prayed, I would write in my journal, I would go to church, I would worship, but I would never show it, because I'm like, I don't want people to judge me anymore based on my relationship with Christ. So people just made me really hate sharing or just being my God-given self. Like, God gives me so much wisdom, and I see so many things that other people don't. It's so weird. Like, I don't know, I see people's futures. So when I like make friends, I kind of know, like, you can tell when someone's anointed or when someone has like a specific gift, and like, I'm attracted to those things. But like, other people wouldn't know that if they just looked at a person, you know. But I have that sixth sense. But like, I don't know, I feel like Christianity and like having a personal relationship with God is so up to you. Like, it's however you want to, as long as you know, like, that's the homie, you know, like, God loves you and you've seen him work his miracles in your life, you are good. Like, you don't have to worry about what your life looks to other people, because it's your journey and that's all that matters. Like, I don't compare my journey to anyone else. I don't even try to be like, oh, I have to be this and that. I talk to God, and it's how I feel. Like, I feel like my heart is a huge part of it. Like, when I'm doing something wrong, I feel it. Like, it's a negative feeling, and everyone has that gut feeling. But like, when I guess, like, I know what's right for me because my heart is light when I do something right, or what I feel like is good for myself, you know. And that doesn't mean everything I do is right, but it's just like, it's what I know is right for me, because of just like praying and just like talking to God and just like, you know, tuning in with him daily. And so I just feel like, I don't know, Christianity in a community that judges you about everything and is so nosy, and in your personal life, it's just a lot, and you just really have to learn how to navigate it. Like, I realized years ago that I was such a private person, but yet like somehow, some way, like, my life was not private. And now that I have my privacy and peace, oh my gosh, like, I could never have asked for anything more. And that space to just grow and be free and heal and be private and just deal with myself and learn more about me has done so much more than all those years where I was still trying to figure it out. And honestly, today I'm still trying to figure it out. But like, this space I'm in now is amazing. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more. But I don't know if that helps any of you guys. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my Christian journey and like what that looks like. Like 90% of the time I'm at home, I'm listening to worship music, whether it's going to sleep, waking up, going to work, cleaning, homework, whatever. But like, I don't share a lot of that stuff anymore because I don't feel like it's anyone's business. And when I feel like sharing, I will. But I just feel like if you are someone who does have a relationship with God and may have been just kind of discouraged by other people and them judging you, then like, just do what I do. I mean, I love God and I don't hide that. And sometimes I play worship music, but it's not just when I feel good or God's done something good for me or I did something wrong and I'm just trying to, like, you know, get good with him again. It's just because I want to and it's personal to me. So that is that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any like topics you want me to talk about specifically, I sure can. I may be starting a segment. I say that all the time, but like, it's almost in the works. I'm just trying to figure it out. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I think once I figure it out, I'm gonna record multiple episodes, and it's not gonna be anything like huge productive. It's probably gonna be me and one other person, and we're just gonna have our own perspectives and just talk to you guys about random topics that either you guys give me or we come up with ourselves or whatever is in, you know, whatever's popping on the TLs. So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys. And I just want to say, like, yo, if God calls you to do something, like, just go for it. Don't question it. Don't ask for anything else. Just go for it and just know that, like, he has your back. And that's it. I love y'all so much. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that like button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.